everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report. Coming up, two former SmackDown Women's World Champions battling out one-on-one as we on the road to momentum for the Royal Rumble. Bayley versus Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair knows a thing or two about winning Royal Rumbles. She won the Royal Rumble almost 3 years ago. Now Bianca wants to take Bayley to the limit. Bayley having a lot of problems of her own with her own group, Damage Control. When we see the inevitable with Damage Control basically kick Bayley to the curb, we'll talk about that and they're coming up. Also, too, we saw this nasty bump tonight. Carmelo Hayes went against Austin Theory. We'll have reports on what's going on and their conditions coming up here as well. All this and more, and plus, Roman Reigns found out, like the rest of us from Nick Aldis, that he has not only one, not only two, but three challengers that wants to take this undisputed championship. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in that conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Karen. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button. So you remember last week as SmackDown left the air, as General Manager Nick Aldis and Paul Heyman were at ringside. And Paul Heyman had to get the unfortunate news to his tribal chief, the undisputed champion, Roman Reigns, about Roman's involvement in the Royal Rumble. Roman thought he had everything worked out, but he did what he did. But little did Roman know that Nick Aldis had something in store under his sleeve and will cause Roman to do what he needs to do. Well, tonight was no different right here. We saw right here the Bloodline, Jimmy and Solo, decided to take liberties on their own and attack Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes did not see it coming. Cameron Grimes was the victim of the Bloodline after what Roman said that someone from the Bloodline is going to do some hurt to somebody. And that's what Solo and Jimmy did. Solo and Jimmy started game war attacking Cameron Grimes. Solo with the spike, doing that vicious spike that he did, the vicious spike that he did tonight. I think Cameron Grimes will be out for some time. I think Cameron Grimes making the point, even to the point that we're having last week with Roman, Solo, and Jimmy proving their dominance and doing what they need to do. Well, Paul Heyman decided to call out Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis and Paul Heyman had a war of words from last week at their debate from last week. Well, Nick Aldis said the reason he put Roman in that match because he has the power and the authority, and that him and Roman are no equals. Roman is not the SmackDown general manager that he is. I think Nick Aldis laid down the law tonight, saying that he is not going to be a pushover for the Bloodline, and especially for Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. That he's going to have to do something. Well, Nick Aldis said tonight that the Bloodline needs to find a third man. I mean, why they didn't get Roman? I mean, that was an obvious tag team match. Roman's, I guess, not going to be doing things due to his commitments and stuff, what's going on. But Nick Aldis said that he had to, almost the end of the night, to have a partner for the Bloodline. The Bloodline had to go and find a partner. Paul Heyman had to go really find a partner vigorously to see so what Paul Heyman did. Well, speaking of factions, Santos Escobar debuted his new faction, right here. Angel Garza and Roberto Carrillo all want to prove point who is the real LWO, and he disputed that the LWO is not what they think to be. As we see right here, that Selena Vega, she's trying to do what she with the LWO without Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio wasn't there. Selena Vega along with I forgot his name. I forgot their names, but I don't remember the groups, but I know they're battling for the respect and the heritage and the history of the LWO and what that history will do. The LWO tonight trying to do leaps and bounds tonight, as they always did, to make a point, make a case sometimes too. But the case was that tonight, the LWO, you see right here, Joaquin Wine and I forgot Raccoon something. They took it to the LWO, so to the new LWO. Joaquin Wine took a nasty hit right there. He was out. I think we kind of know they lost tonight. Roberto and Angel won their match tonight. Fitting for them, as we saw right there. Well, the general manager, Nick Aldis, has been a busy man. We know that he's been dealing with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns as late, but Nick Aldis decided that he wants to bring in some new fresh crop of talent, and he wants to do so sooner rather than later. That Nick Aldis wants to do. Nick Aldis decided that I didn't see coming, but he did tonight. He brought in NXT star Carmelo Hayes. I don't know if Carmelo Hayes signed a SmackDown contract, and I believe so. He did. So Carmelo Hayes is exploring his options. Maybe after WrestleMania, when you get done with Trick Williams, he might be the corporate, and he might be heading to SmackDown with his newfound home on SmackDown. Well, he got confronted tonight by Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They had a match tonight, and they was gonna have one tonight, and we can get to it right quick with Theory and Grayson Waller. This was what had happened. It was a good match. I didn't see Carmelo Hayes till, but then they had a nasty bump tonight. Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory. Hopefully these two guys will be okay. A nasty accident right there. Both guys, hopefully they didn't have no concussion or nothing like that. We want to see that one more time right here. This is what I'm talking about right here. Carmelo, I guess, was falling and landing down on Austin. Austin and Carmelo had that little nasty bump. And hopefully everything is okay. I want to show you from a different view right here. This is a different view. Ooh, man. I just hope everything's okay. It didn't go through their I know concussion is real serious, real serious, and hopefully Carmelo and Austin Theory will be okay. That's a real serious showcase right there. That bump that Carmelo and Austin Theory took, and this is what we have heard right here from WWE's official Twitter account, saying that here's an update right here. Following their match tonight, SmackDown, Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes were evaluated for their injuries, and both suffered face concussions and will both be okay. So, that was a close one indeed. We're glad that both Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes, they're both athletes. They're both in their primes, and you can tell they're going to be both future WrestleMania main eventers, I believe. So they're okay. Nothing damaging happened, and that's a good thing to hear and know about. That could have been way worse, but hey, that's are okay, and they didn't really suffer nothing real hard or heavy tonight. Again, went down. So they went through tonight.
said, whew, it was a close one. You never want to see no one. They always say, don't try this at home. And that's what they always say. Don't try this at home. Carmelo Hayes and Austin there, maybe they will do it again, but tonight was the right move, the right call. The referee stoppage and stuff for them. Superior athlete. They'll do it again, hopefully. And this time, you know, they'll be on a safer ground from where they were. Also, too, we got word from the United States champion, the arrogant United States champion, Logan Paul. Logan Paul kind of associated himself with Theory and Waller. So Logan Paul, he's going to be meeting Kevin Owens in 2 weeks at the Royal Rumble for the United States Championship. This will be Logan Paul's first title defense ever since winning the United States Championship at Crown Jewel this past November. Hopefully, he can get himself together and what he's going to have to go through in the knowledge for himself. Also, too, we found out that Butch, he's no longer going to be called Butch no more. He's going to be called Pete Dunne. So Pete Dunne is in the building. Pete Dunne will be, I guess, he's going to be making some rounds about for him. So Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate had their sit down, and I guess they're going to be cordial, I guess, or however long they're going to make it. We'll see after their victory from last week. Done and yeah. Well, we know this. Bianca Belair was in action. Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE. Bianca Belair took on Bayley after Bianca laid down the issued the challenge last week on SmackDown that she wants to go against Bayley, and she wants to prove to Bayley that she's going to win the Royal Rumble. Not Bayley. Bayley's not going to win it. That she believes that Bayley doesn't have a chance of her life to win the Royal Rumble. I I don't know how this is gonna go between these women, but Bayley has an opportunity to have a shot of becoming women's champion, regain the women's championship, and become a babyface once again. This time, how things are and how things are going to evolve for Bayley, because Bayley's in thin ice with her group mates, Damage Control. You can tell because Damage Control used to run rough shots on SmackDown WWE. And maybe Damage Control outgrew Bayley, and maybe Bayley outgrew Damage Control. But Bayley kind of senses that the end is near with her group in Damage Control. With EO being the women's champion, EO leading the path, leading the foundation that she wants to lead on her own. So this is the perfect timing for her to do so. Do it with her own stripes. But like we said, that Bayley versus Bianca was a instant classic, a good classic matchup. This is kind of like reminiscent of when Bianca first won the championship. Bayley was Bianca's first challenge to the champion to her test as champion. And this match had everything. Bayley trying to use everything she could. Bayley trying to take down Bianca Belair. Even Damage Control wasn't impressed. They wasn't impressed during the match. Throughout the match, even Bayley's trying to wrap Bianca with her own braids. That didn't even impress Damage Control even more. Bayley's trying to figure out why they're not following the protocol. Damage Control really not giving Bayley everything she needed, everything she wanted. Bayley's trying to impress them. Still wasn't impressed. You can tell it's an eventual turn between these women. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. You can just notice it. You can feel it, the tension and stuff. Bailey lost to Bianca. Bianca gets the win over Bailey. Bailey looking upset as always that she couldn't win it for her team. And I think this is the signs right here that Damage Control, given that hot cold situation, that they're almost done with her. I think Bailey keeps that notion going and stuff. And I think Bailey's going to have to wait and see, find out. Damage Control is not impressed with her. And you can tell right there, they're going to attack Bailey sooner rather than later. So Bailey might well get ready, be attacked by Damage Control. It's just festering and it's just feeding that a babyface turn from Bailey. I haven't seen Bailey turn babyface in nearly 5 years. I mean, this is anticipating that Bailey going to get a babyface turn. I would never have expected Bailey to get a babyface turn in 5 years. I thought Bailey was going to be the ultimate babyface forever. And it wasn't the key to that, but you can tell Dakota is giving Bailey like signs and stuff that, hey, you're going to eventually the honeymoon is over. And you know how they go when you get married and all that stuff. The honeymoon phase is over, and then things just start to crumble and crumble. You know, it depends if you got a strong relationship. Then people argue every day. So I think it's time for them to get a divorce and go on their ways. And I think Bailey will be the one who will not try to break them up, but Damage Control will eventually do so, because you can tell right here. Look right here. These women just stood over her, knowing that they wanted to kick her butt. But Nicole gave her grace that sooner or later they're gonna do it. And they ain't gonna look pretty. Speaking of that, Paul Heyman on a mission to find a partner for Jimmy and Solo. Where Paul Heyman walked into the Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly wanted to put their name in the hat. Heyman said, no thanks. Passed on Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly probably got offended or whatever that was be the case. Heyman didn't give enough ample time. Heyman rejected the offer and moved on to another team, another group that he wanted to elaborate this stuff. Well, Heyman also did try to go to the Pride. I don't know why they call themselves the Pride. The Street Profits and Bobby Lashley call themselves the Pride. Just call yourself the Hurt Business and get it over with. I mean, no wasting nobody's time, but the Hurt Business is much more better. But I guess they want to keep this going, so they got to keep it you know what, throughout. But like I said, the Hurt Business, but the Pride wanted to get their hands on Paul Ellery and Precious Paul, who's leading the AOP, and the AOP really decimated the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, along with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Well, this group has a new name, and you won't believe the new name is. I mean, they vicious and deadly. Did not know. There's a lot of factions going on in WWE. You never would have thought WWE would be the home of factions. It was a home of some factions and stuff way back in the day. But we now know that Paul Ellery is along with the group. Paul Ellery used to talk and stuff. He don't talk no more. Well, they call themselves the Testament or something like that. It was something. Well, you gotta know now how deadly they can be with Paul Ellery in their corner and Scarlett and Karrion Kross. He's a sicko as well. We'll see how this new faction will go for moving forward and stuff. Well, Heyman and them elaborate that they waited and waited, and then they took out Randy Orton throughout the match. Randy Orton got took out right here. He got taken out. Got beaten up for his own troubles. Orton got spiked by Solo. Solo spiked Orton. Well, it led to a tag team match between LA Knight and AJ Styles. AJ Styles and LA Knight both men really couldn't trust each other. They both did so well cohesively until Randy Orton came out there and made it a 3-on-2 handicap match, which did kind of even the odds for him, and they won the match with Randy Orton hitting the RKO on Jimmy Uso. That wasn't enough there, as LA Knight, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles decided they want to be their own version of the Shield, and they decided to powerbomb Solo through the table, and Solo went through the table. Could this be an omen to what's going to happen to the Universal Champion Roman Reigns? Could he suffer the same fate in a powerbomb and stuff? Roman has been was the leader of the Shield, or one of the co-founders of the Shield, and used to do the power bombs and stuff. Roman kind of want to talk and stuff, but this led to Paul Heyman saying, "Call Roman Reigns," and it ended with Paul Heyman trying to figure out what's next. But we kind of know right here that LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton all on the same page. But for how long? But you can tell with LA Knight and AJ, when they've had their issues, which is going to lead to Royal Rumble between these three guys doing what they need to do. Which one of these three guys wants to be champion? We'll find out and see. All right. We're going to end that right there here on the SmackDown Ring Report. We're going to have Wrestling Hot Topics news for tomorrow during a Collision Ring Report. Oh, for me and Kendrick saying so long. Thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.